Hello everyone. Today I am working with Ferguson and we are working on more distractions and up in the ante on him being able to be called off of things. So what we are working on right now is him being able to go up to a dog and come away without any pressure on the leash. So even this right here is really good. I'm doing a little bit with the yes game. The only reason I'm not saying yes is because I'm talking to you. But every time he looks over at the other dogs, yes. I'm just rewarding. Good. I'm also going to do a little bit where I send him away, just because being in this situation for too long can build stress. So I want him to be able to move out away from the other dogs and get a little bit of a relief. I'm going to set him up over here so I can actually have his whole head in the video. This is a small space, so it's hard to get everything in there. Good boy. Good. So right now, what he is dealing with has been really hard for him in the past. Being able to be next to a dog like Bunker, who wants to be on the side of the fence that I'm on, so his nervous system is a little bit dysregulated. And having Ferguson stay calm while he watches that is a huge thing for Fergs. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to let him go towards the fence, and then I am going to call him away with a kissy noise and have him turn away. Go say hello. Here. Yes. Good. Here. Yes. Good. Good. I'm going to move this camera because I'd like you to be able to see the reaction that Ferguson is doing, so you can see what his face is doing as he's going up. Yes, good boy. So I'm just gonna move this back a little bit so I can get more of him. There we go. There. So I want you to watch for signs of stress as he goes there. He's going to do a little bit of a tongue flick. He's going to get a little bit quicker in his body. His body is going to move forward. He's going to lean forward. His body's going to get a little tense. All of these things are going to show me that he is getting overstimulated, and I want to call him back when he is starting to show the subtle signs of that rather than waiting for an explosion. So right now he's in a fairly good place. He's at the edge of tipping over into reactivity, because he is getting a little bit excited standing here watching the other dogs, but he is still able to turn away, focus on me, and stand next to me softly without going to the other dog. So this is where a lot of learning can happen. So when you're working with reactive dogs, this is the edge where the reactivity starts to improve, because I am bringing him right up to the edge of his threshold and working him in that zone. Yes, good boy. Good. And I'm doing a little bit of movement, having him go away and come back, go away and come back, rather than having him stay in one place for too long, because staying in one place for too long will start to build that excitement, and it will get him to the point where he can't turn away. So if you hear people talking about his bucket getting filled, if he's standing in the same place for too long, he will eventually overflow his bucket and react. So I'm working on having him move away so that that has a chance to release. Yes, good, good. So there he had a moment of stillness and fixation. So right here, yes, that little moment of stillness and fixation where he starts to get very focused on the other dog and his whole body goes still. That's where I want to have him. There, here, yes. That's where I want to have him turn away before he reacts. Yes. Hello. Good. And this does not mean that Ferguson would ever play with Bunker, because most likely they would not be a good match. So even if I get it to the point where they can sit perfectly still next to each other and they can ignore each other 100% and be calm when they are in a situation like this, either next to each other between a fence or sitting next to each other, it is not something that they could necessarily do when they're playing. So this, what he's learning right now, is a skill to be able to be out around other dogs and not reacting. It is not necessarily saying that he is then good to play with anybody, because he's showing us he's not. Even though he's being very obedient and he's learning to trust me and learning how to regulate his nervous system and learning how to be calm in situations where I tell him he's safe, it does not necessarily mean that he is then going to be able to play nicely, or that the two of them could play nicely together. And it also shows, like right there, when it changes, yes, come. I need to move him back because Bunker standing up on the fence is much more triggering to him. So we have to move back and work that as a totally different picture than when Bunker is standing on all four. Dogs are very situational. So now he's fixated. Now I'm going to move him back. I'm going to take him away. Sit. Good. And because it's switched, now I'm going to move away and start further back and then reduce the distance again. Yes. So I'm going to start with the yes game again. Yes. Good boy. Good. And I'm going to end this here because this is a long enough session. Any more than this? And he's... So I'm ending the session there and putting Ferguson away, because if I keep working on this anymore, he is going to backslide and he's going to start reacting and he's going to start practicing what he's always done, and I don't want that to happen again. So this way he is able to work on it, improve, learn some new skills, and end the session on a good note where he's successful, so that the next time he comes out, he can improve some more and build on his skills, rather than practicing the old stuff I don't want him to do anymore and continually learning something new and then practicing something old, so that the new stuff never really sticks. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.